Hello and welcome to the Magic the Blabbering podcast. I'm your host, Nick, with Josh, and today we're talking all things Dragonstorm and a few things Secret Lair. So, first, let's start with a little bit of Secret Lair. Josh,
Yeah,
we got a big teaser from the Secret Lair today uh, from that you see on Instagram, and they showed a bunch of teaser names.
yeah,
So, beyond SpongeBob, we're going to be getting Baby Dragon Lords, cartoons, high school yearbook, circa 1873, I think is what it said.
1987.
Tragic romance, 1987, tragic romance, stickers, and gardening.
Yeah.
Um,
So, I mean, let's talk about real quick. We just had a Chaos Vault drop that lasted just a few hours. It was dogs versus cats. So yeah, we had two secret layers. One was cats, one was dogs, and they all both had the identical cards. And it was like a contest to see which one sold better because they're gonna make a secret layer for next year based on either cats or dogs, whichever one won. Spoiler alert: cats won. They both sold out within hours. It was super fast, but I guess cats sold out first, so cats won. And we'll see a cats secret layer next year. I don't know if it's going to be a full like themed deck or what it's going to be, but yeah, that's what we're going to get. I was shocked. We got, I mean, like 1 or 2 days notice on this Chaos Vault, and I mean it was gone the same day that it came out. So
yeah,
pretty
it's kind of the
nuts.
surprise secret layer is how I kind of view the Chaos Vault. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
it's gonna drop. There it is, and it's gone. It has a lot more of that surprise, quick get in. Seems like even shorter supply because I don't think any of the Chaos Vaults haven't sold out. Maybe
The
maybe that one with
islands.
the enchantresses.
No, the one with the islands sold out pretty fast. The land, they had those land packs.
Mhm.
But that's really the only one that's sold out, I think.
Oh, okay. So just interesting to see. I mean, people love their cats and dogs. We had our
Yeah,
decks last time, the dog and cat deck, and now we're maybe going to get another cat deck in the
yeah,
future,
maybe.
maybe.
There was
So looking
I
good.
mean, all the art was pretty cute on it. The I love the basilisk collar. That was probably my favorite. The cat, just sitting there looking mean with the spiked collar, and then the little dog with the lizard, costume
Lizard
was,
outfit.
yeah, I like that one. And then there's a little Easter egg in one of the cards where the dog had ripped up a chaos orb stuffed animal. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah,
Oh,
so
that's
so
amazing.
yeah, so that just happened, and then by the time you see this, it'll be a couple days. March 24th is the what is it called? Our boss is on vacation super drop or something. And so yeah, we've seen the baby dragons. So these are the original dragon lords from Dragons of Tarkir, and they're two-sided. One side has the adult version on it, and then one side has little, art that they look, younger younger dragon lords. So you get your little baby dragons, and then got the full-grown adults on the other side. You gonna buy these,
Yeah, and they're
Nick?
all the. I think I might be. I'm kind of
Yeah,
into it.
I think they're pretty
They
good.
all
They're
are
gonna
by
be
like the
popular.
same artist too. I think so. They all have like
Yeah,
the same vibe. I don't
yeah,
love them all, but I'm definitely into that Silumgar, that
yeah. I think
Polygon. I
this.
want the little babies.
Yeah, those two are my favorites. I think
Yeah,
little
yeah,
Polygon,
loving it,
he's
loving
like
those.
playing with the like lightning bolt and stuff. So
Yeah, and Silumgar's just taking a little nappy,
yeah,
just
yeah,
and I think the OG tie looks just like a very young little like raptor
like a
almost,
yeah, like a
like that.
chicken. It's got its feathers and everything. So
Yeah, and Artarka's baby looks kind of like a very lanky like child, he's like way too thin and long, like very
and
neat. And
then
Dramoka looks funny as hell,
yeah,
so
it's got like the anime baby eyes.
yeah, it just looks so fat and all
Yeah.
funny.
So that's
Um,
one of the sets in the drop. Then we know SpongeBob. We're getting three of those. There's a like you said, the yearbook 1987, which this was a big miss to me. They showed off the secret layer over on Instagram on the Instagram the official secret layer Instagram page, and like this says it's circa 1987 yearbook, but they don't have the background with the like blue and pink lasers. You know what I'm talking about? Like they
no, I don't know what you're
really. Okay, I'm gonna
talking.
put it on screen. Go back and watch this. Like it's the most like if I showed you right now, you would know. But like it's like the most famous like yearbook background. I don't know why they didn't have that. But they look
Huh.
very bland to me. I don't know. It's got like their portrait, and then up on the upper right, it has like their face superimposed, and then at the bottom it
Yeah,
gives like some stats, like most likely to become a vampire or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm not really feeling this one. But what do
yeah.
you
It's
think?
it's just a weird drop, and it's got a weird set of cards. Like AC is a good hit, but it like kind of looks goofy. Like if I was sitting there
Yeah,
trying to get a cool version of my like giant serpent, I wasn't expecting a guy in a costume. And
yeah.
I don't know, maybe Tulane people are into this goofy Tulane art, but I don't know. The arts are cool. They are like kind of unique. They're
Yeah,
definitely unique, but
I do like the character art, but just the whole
yeah,
the frame I feel was kind of a miss.
yeah, I
So
agree with that.
and then we've
And
got
there's no jokes. This looks like it's prime for jokes. You ever see how like the
well, they
how
have
like
the
the
on a couple of them they have the like the most likely to do whatever, and some of those are kind of funny.
uh
But yeah,
yeah, I feel like it needed more jokes because that's whenever I see Facebook or yearbook stuff now, it'll say something like redonkulous, like you
yeah,
know
they like
whatever
yeah
happened
they
in
could
high
have given
school.
like a quote to be like the flavor text and stuff. You know what I mean? Like yeah,
Yeah, they should have.
yeah, this one could have been done way better. I felt like it was it felt very phoned in. The art is really
Yeah,
cool. I love the style, but the frame and execution, I think, is kind of a fail. And then
yeah,
we have cartoons, which we've only seen one of those so far. It's a Fatal Push, and it's like it's two cartoon characters that are just kind of look like made up. One's Pumpkinhead, and one's like the old Blackbirds or like a crow from like old Disney
yeah,
episodes. And the one of the characters is like falling off a cliff, and
yeah,
so we got Fatal Push. That's the only one that we've seen so far as we're recording this. And then I think
yeah. Well, wacky style.
the others we haven't seen anything about really. The with the gardening and what's the other one?
Yeah, we haven't seen any tragic romance cards,
Yeah.
gardening, or stickers.
What do you think tragic romance?
Um,
So like is it's not going to be like
hmm.
romance novel covers, is it? Like with a like Fabio out here just
Oh, that would be actually hilarious.
I'm
I could see some for that.
I'm thinking like
I
Romeo
could
and
totally see some.
Juliet type thing.
I'm hoping for that, but
Yeah.
you remember the Asterion Secret Lair where he's all just like looted out? Those sold pretty well, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get something in that vein. Just more vampires looking, like
Yeah.
they're gonna have a night on the town sort of thing, or
Yeah,
they're
I bet
in for
that's
a night on the town, I should say.
I bet it's something in that vein. No pun intended, but
Yeah, there you go. I was thinking that too. And stickers. Getting to
yeah.
stickers. Do you think we'll get sticker sheets, or
Gosh, I don't
is this
know.
sticker theme?
I'm really open for like Garbage Pail Kids, like Garbage Pail
Okay,
Kids
I can
stickers.
see
I don't
that.
know. Yeah,
Yeah,
it would
they
be
have the
very.
sticker technology, so they
They
could be
do.
stickers.
Yeah, they do have the sticker technology. Like my mind goes to kind of the like the Lisa Frank like stickers, the very bright
Yeah,
colors, like Trapper Keeper vibes. Um,
yeah.
yeah, not sure
And
about
then
that one.
so all of them were showcased on a list of sticky notes, like they'd made a wall,
Yeah,
that they showed in their little video. But I'm looking at the one with stickers, and it actually shows like some kitties, and then it shows a little like Fibblethip looking
yeah,
homunculus. So we might get hit Fibblethip stickers. I don't know. I'm kind of into that.
yeah.
Maybe it really will just be stickers. You'll see like there's cards and just like boom, here's a package of stickers. Be kind of neat.
Yeah, so
And then gardening, I don't know what that's about.
I kind of like most of these, that we've seen so far. The cartoon one seems interesting to me. We'll see, what the rest of the cards are, but yeah, we'll know. I mean, by the time you listen to this, you'll probably know all of them. But March 24th, that's next Monday. The next Monday after you see this, or after this podcast is released, this drop will be happening. I imagine I'm guessing it's probably going to sell out pretty fast. I mean, you've got SpongeBob and the Dragon Lords, both in the same drop. I think they'll go pretty
Ooh,
fast.
what if the secret card in the Dragon Lords is like Ugin? Like OG Ugin as a baby? Could you imagine?
So well, um,
Or maybe the Sarkon, the three-color Sarkon, maybe?
so we're already getting a baby Ugin. Did you not see that one?
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
No.
So the baby Ugin is going to be in the uh, Dragonstorm set proper. So
Oh,
it's the new Ugin, not the old one.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and that's the only one they've
Oh,
shown. Oh, actually, I take that back. So there's a bunch of babies in Dragonstorm, and Ugin is one of
oh,
them.
okay.
So yeah, yeah,
Oh my goodness. So there's just a team of baby dragons. Okay, so you got to collect them all. All right. I'm gonna
yeah.
have to look into that. I didn't know. I thought this was just Secret Lair.
No,
Okay, so
no,
you have your baby dragon.
yeah, Yeah, so I don't know if we're gonna get secret cards. I hope it gets secret cards in all these, but right now they're doing like random zombies for some reason. So you
Yeah.
get the random zombie in your secret layer. I think the artist series for sure get like a themed bonus card, but I think
Okay.
they've stopped doing bonus cards for every drop. So we'll
Oh,
see.
okay. So
Yeah,
it's
we'll
not
see.
consistent.
But let's talk about Dragonstorm, man. We just got like info dumped with a bunch of stuff, and Baby Ugin being one of them. I mean, so much stuff that you can't really keep track of it all.
Yeah, yeah. No, this set started off a little soft for me. I was like, best we got is a
Same.
joke to see Drino. But now that I'm seeing the cards, like a lot more cards coming out, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
all right, we got some blood in the veins. I'm excited now,
Yeah, I
Lots of
am
cool
really
arts.
pumped about this set. Like I I thought Aether Drift was going to be the set for me this year. You know, I was like, okay, it's cool. We're going back to cons, or going back to Tarkir and doing that. And once I started seeing all the stuff that they have in store, holy cow, man, I'm blown away by this set. So like, there's just so much. I feel like we got a lot of information yesterday. We went through Mark Rosewater's teaser in our last episode, and yeah, it's like it feels like all the stuff we got yesterday. I mean, we can check off boxes on all that on that teaser, like almost all
Yeah,
of them. So
yeah, we got everything. I mean, there's no stone left unturned, so we can
yeah,
kind of review how we got or
well,
didn't get.
yeah, I think we'll do that in a whole separate video. We'll just go through the spoiler. Once everything's released, we'll go through Mark's teaser and kind of see what hits we got. But let's start with
Yeah.
So we know we're getting two planeswalkers. We know what they are now. They're pretty good planeswalkers. So we got Ugin and Elspeth. Go ahead and read through those, Nick. Let's start with Ugin and Elspeth. Those are the two planeswalkers we've got.
All right. Yeah. So Elspeth Storm Slayer. She's 3 white for legendary planeswalker Elspeth, and she has a passive ability. If one or more tokens would be created under your control, create twice that many tokens instead. +1, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token, which might as well say two in a sense.
Yeah.
0, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Those creatures gain flying until your next turn. That's crazy. And then -3, destroy target creature an opponent controls with mana value 3 or greater, and it starts with 5 loyalty. Um, wow.
Yeah.
Mythic.
So you get
This card is crazy.
half a doubling season in white.
But yeah, this and she also has the Dragonstorm promo art. So that crystally like Ugin style magic. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
This card, Planeswalkers are always kind of soft in Commander and stuff like that, but this one is like all the gas, just does it all. I'm like,
Yeah.
I look at this card, I'm like, whoa, like Elspeth is here, like holy.
Yeah, I mean,
What do you think of this card, Josh?
she's doing pretty much the same stuff she's always been doing. She's making tokens fly, or making creatures fly, and then getting rid of big things. So yeah, it's her static ability in white is pretty good. I think we've only got just a couple other white cards that double your tokens. Mostly that's a green effect, but yeah, I think she'll definitely see play, and I mean, pretty much a bomb in standard. I feel like.
Yeah, so in Commander, we usually still to this day, Elspeth Sun's Champion will crop up every now and then and put in some work.
Yeah.
And that's been kind of the de facto best Elspeth for a long time. I have the little baby one, I love it. The chibi one.
Oh
And
yeah,
now
yeah, yeah.
now we have a new contender. I mean, I'd love to play with this card. I love everything about Elspeth. I've actually, when we've been reading the Dragonstorm, going through the Dragonstorm stories, I'm like,
Uh-huh.
all the Shards of Alara cast is here except
Yeah,
for Tezzeret, I think
yeah.
so far. So I'm like,
And we're gonna get
it's like
Tezzeret.
those five
We're getting Tezzeret.
in the
And
next set.
yeah, so yeah, maybe
Yeah,
we
because we
won't.
got a Johnny, Sarkon, Elspeth,
Yep.
Nicol Bolas, and then Tezzeret's coming up. So I'm like,
Yeah.
Shards of Lara, bring it up, baby, come back. But yeah, no, I love this Elspeth. And then Ugin is redonkulous. I didn't have all my chats were popping off with this thing. It was crazy. So Ugin is Ugin, Eye of the Storm, 7 mana, legendary planeswalker Ugin, mythic rare. When you cast this spell, exile up to one target permanent that's one or more colors. When you cast a colorless spell, exile up to one target permanent that's one or more colors. +2, you gain 3 life and draw a card. 0, add 3 colorless. -11, search your library for any number of colorless non-land cards. Exile them, then shuffle. Until the end of your turn, you may cast those cards without paying their mana costs. 7 loyalty. Wow!
Yeah.
Wow! So you remember Karn Liberated being a good card? How about you get the Karn Liberated, but you get a tick up and draw a card
Yeah, this
after you
card
exile a thing?
This card is absolutely.
How about you exile 2 things when you add 3 mana and just drop another rock? You're like mana rock into mana rock, like exile 3 things, just out of here. Holy.
Yeah, this card is
Oh.
bonkers. It's interesting to see both of these planeswalkers in this set have static abilities. Like, is that a thing going forward? Do you think that we're going to get more of that?
I think so. I think if planeswalkers are going to have that oomph factor, I think they really need that bonus,
Yeah,
just to make them kind of more like enchantments and like make them more viable. Because command, like we're in this new commandery world. In standard, I'm sure I don't even know. Seems like a beating.
yeah,
Like your opponent plays pluses, it's like good luck.
yeah.
Like you
No,
have a
this.
you're staring at a 9 loyalty planeswalker. They went up in life. They just got rid of your best thing. Good luck. But in
Yeah,
commander, like this is actually a threat. You play this thing. A lot of games you'll fill your hand up. Like if you're drawing a bunch of cards, you'll just fill your hand up with a bunch of mana rocks. You play this guy. You exile a thing. You play a rock. You play another rock. You just exile 3 things from the board.
yeah,
Like so, you went from like whatever to like board domination. Most board players won't kill this thing. Planeswalkers. I know a lot of people say Planeswalkers are bad in Commander, but there's a lot of times post Wrath where it's just like if you
yeah,
slam a Walker, it's not getting off the board. And this one is like you're never killing it. You better have something huge, like 9 damage out of nowhere.
yeah.
So it's great. And then colorless decks are gonna love this. Like auto in every colorless deck. Any
This
like
is yeah. This is definitely going in my Eldrazi deck. Like no
in a heartbeat.
question. Yeah, like this. I mean,
Yeah,
I think this outclasses the other Ugin. You know, I mean, they're both very
yeah,
powerful, but like every spell you cast basically just kills something on the board. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and
And
then
not to mention it ramps you, right? So you go from
yeah, it
7 to 10 or 11 right after he's out, right? You just
right,
like
yeah.
boom.
Like his last cost really doesn't really even matter because like you're casting all that stuff, all your titans, everything. You're able to cast those with that 3 extra colorless mana. I mean, yeah, and like
You can also be an abject villain, play him +3, exile another thing when you play Ensnaring Bridge, but I can't even attack if they wanted to. Just like
yeah,
never coming at me.
yeah, like this card should just say you win the game basically. So
Yeah, it's a beating. It
yeah,
is a beating.
yeah, I'm
Um,
happy. I don't know. I might feel bad playing this card, but geez, it's
I
it's
so for me actually, I feel like this is in a sweet spot where I like what it's doing. It's gonna beat me up in a game, but I
yeah,
actually am like, I don't. This doesn't give me bad vibes. Like this feels somewhere between like Ulamog the Ceaseless Hungerer and like something else. It's got to be strong when it's strong, but it's not. This doesn't give me the negative vibes like cards like Emrakul the Promised End do. When they're like, I just take your turn, or like,
well,
or
yeah,
any of
but
the Eldrazi like.
you're gonna be facing an Emrakul the Promise in the next turn after this is played. You know
Well,
that, right?
well, I mean, like in those decks, but there's other decks that are going to play this. So in most games, it's like whatever. In the Eldrazi game, it was like we already needed to kill you to begin with, so
Yeah, that's true.
you
That's
know
true.
we're already coming for you. Like the Ugin's, like who cares? Like you're already a villain. Now it's like, can we survive? But yeah, no, It's cool. I mean, they've been pushing colorless. This is really the
Yeah,
the big thing for colorless. So
yeah, I'm hyped about this. And then you've got the different
um,
treatments on this. You've got, I mean, there's all kinds of versions of this card. You got the baby one where it's so baby on one side, adult nicol bolas on the other. Like if you haven't seen the baby side, he looks like a little gecko. It's pretty cute. And then
I'm still trying to find that art.
you've got the ghost fire frame. You've got the ghost fire
Oh,
like foil. Yeah, just crazy treatments in this set. The ghost fire foils look so good.
they're gonna come with a price tag, and I'm like, man, I might be paying one. I might be paying for that. That seems
Yeah,
great.
yeah. I mean,
Beautiful
then you've got
cards.
like
So yeah,
so. I mean, this guy you know cast him. You cast your Mox Jasper for free and blow something up, or your Ornithopter, or like yeah, any 0 cost artifact. You're just becomes
any
game
loop with
decay.
some zeros, it's over. Your whole board is gone.
Yeah.
You
So
just play them in those one of those like what are they called, the egg decks, and you're just like, here's all my zeros.
yeah.
Everything's gone. I mean, if you ultimate him too, you can ultimate him off of like a doubling season, right? So you just like play him,
Oh
then you're
God.
just like exile party, like it's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's probably the most griefery thing you could do. What is it? You search your deck for all non-land cards, exile them until end of turn. You can cast them without paying their mana costs. So yeah, as long as he's alive, it's a 14. He's alive. You play all your colorless stuff, and you're like, everything's gone.
Yeah.
Also, the Ugin from the 6 mana Ugin that like costs down all your colorless by 2. You
Yeah.
play that, then you play
Yeah.
this
And
guy, then you
so
just like exile everything.
like his static ability is like the first ability on that Ugin, because that Ugin's card says blow up a colored permanent, a permanent that's one or more
Yeah, colorless.
colors, and basically, and this is
Yeah.
his static ability. So yeah, so those are our
I wonder if
planeswalkers. Go ahead.
yeah. I wonder if they don't say target non-colorless. Maybe that's just too weird of a sentence. They just try target non-colorless thing, but
Yeah,
it's like one or more. I don't know.
one or more
It's
colors.
it's a
Yeah,
weird word.
it probably
But
has.
yeah,
I mean, there's like certain like rules, rules text that
yeah.
that it goes to. So yeah, those are our two planeswalkers. Then we had let's talk about the special guests, because these are probably like when I saw this revealed on the stream yesterday, I literally I'm sitting at home by myself on the couch, and I see this come up on the screen, and I literally was like, oh my god, like out loud, like to myself, like holy cow, I didn't see this coming whatsoever. I feel like I should
Yeah.
have, kind of, So if you missed it, we got all the ultimatums from Ikoria. I mean, crazy, right? No, just kidding. So we do have
No.
those, though. We do have those. Yeah, we do have the ultimatums from Ikoria, which I'm stoked about those. So yeah,
Okay.
in case you guys missed it yesterday, we've got all the enemy fetches back. So the ones that from Zendikar that really haven't been reprinted, right? There was the one secret layer that they gave to LGSs to sell. Um, is that the only reprints on these? Was it in a modern master set at one
No.
point?
Yeah, they've been in a few modern
Okay,
sets. They were in Modern Horizons 2. Um, I think that was it though. I think it's literally since Modern
yeah.
Horizons 2.
These haven't been
And then
reprinted
a few.
very often. So they came out in the original
Yeah,
Zendikar block. I think it was it the set Zendikar proper that these came out,
yeah,
and
yeah. Zendikar, the original Zendikar. They were in Modern Masters 2017. They were in Modern Horizons 2. They were an Expedition, and they were a Secret Lair.
yeah, the secret
With
layer
that
was the
full
one.
box set.
Yeah, where they all five were in a box that you could get from your LGSs. I don't think they were sold online. So yeah, not a lot of
Yeah,
reprints
so
on
they've been really
these.
stingy with these.
Yeah. And they've held their value for quite a while. I don't think this will affect the value very much. But yeah, super excited to see these. We have two arts for each of them. And then we also get a what they call dragon scale foil treatment on some of these. So if you've seen the mana foils from Foundations, where it has like the little mana symbols, or the Phyrexian oil slick foils, where it has the little Phyrexian symbols, this is a foiling process that makes it look like there's dragon scales on the card, and it looks
So excited for
pretty
that. That's
cool.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. So this is probably like the
Yeah, and it's
thing
funny.
I'm.
I expected if they would do fetch lands, they do the enemy fetch lands, or the allied, because that's what was in
Well,
cons the last time.
yeah.
But we just did
So
those in Modern Horizons 3, so
well, also we don't know. I mean, they still could be in the set. We haven't seen the entire set spoiled
true.
yet. So yeah, we could get the
Ooh,
allied fetches in that set, and then a special, your special guests are the enemy fetches. Yeah, just getting all kinds of lands. But yeah,
ooh, that would be the biggest reveal yet.
yeah, the original fetches were in the first cons set, and they were reprint. What they originally came out in, what, Onslaught, I think.
Yes, the
Yeah,
original
and
allied colors were in Onslaught. Yeah.
yeah, and they reprinted them in cons. And yeah, we'll see if they're in the Dragonstorm set here pretty soon. I feel like, but yeah, super excited about the enemy fetches. I think that's probably the thing I'm most excited for. Really, I mean, I'm most
Oh,
excited for
really?
yeah, all the reprints that we're getting. So also we're getting, like I said, we're getting the ultimatums from Ikoria, which I love those. They're the enemy ultimatums. The original ultimatums were from Shards of Alara, which were
Mhm.
the allied, or
And then
the
these are from
the
Ikoria.
shard. Yeah. So these are the wedge.
Yeah, I love the arts on these too. A lot of them are really cool
Yeah.
upgrades. They have all their respective spirit dragons on them, like going off. Like
Yeah.
the Ruinous Ultimatum, that's the most iconic of that whole series. And man, it is just like, it's got that oomph to it. Like I'm blowing up your whole
Yeah.
board. Like I
Yeah.
get this.
It was funny. So I do the commander campaign where so what it is I have a deck, and it plays somewhat similar to Plane Chase, where there's different effects that go off and you get points over 12 weeks. And so my deck, I originally started with a Ratcos colors, and then the week before this last week, I had to change to add white to my deck, so it became a Mardu deck, Mardu colors, and I put in the Ruinous Ultimatum in there, and I had so this last week we were playing, and I had Galva, what's it called, Galvanoth, the beast.
Valgavoth?
No, it's the beast from Mirrodin Besieged, I think it was. It's a red beast,
Oh,
and it says,
yeah,
look at the top card of at the at, during your upkeep. Look at the top card of your library. If it's an instant or sorcery, you may pay it without paying its mana cost. Like the first activation I get from that, Ruinous Ultimatum.
yeah.
So I just cast that for free, like the very, and everybody's just like, "Oh my god, what's going on?" But yeah, it was pretty fun. That I don't want to talk about too much, but we had like probably one of the most fun games that I've played, certainly in the last couple years. Got played last week. It was super fun. I cast Holy. I had Holy Day. I got to pick a signature spell, and so I had this which so basically you pick a spell, put it in your command zone, and then it works the same way where it gets taxed every time you cast it. I chose Holy Day, which it was a super great choice. I think it was between that Path of Exile, and then you suggested Tainted Strike like some kind of monster,
Yeah,
but
it would be so funny.
I chose Holy Day, and I ended up saving every single person at the table at least once during the game. And then I accidentally, not accidentally, I killed somebody by casting a Holy Day. So real quick, so they were this one of the people that I play with. They made a bunch of tokens. They made 20 or 42 tokens off of a March. What's it called from Ravnica? You make one lifelink soldiers. So they made 21 or 42
March of
tokens.
Devastation.
No, it's one. It's a convoke one.
Okay.
Anyways, so they made
Oh, March of. It's the one that makes all the one ones.
yeah, one linkers. So they have 42 of these,
March,
right?
March of Many. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they have 42 of these one linkers on the battlefield. They swung 21 at one person, 21 at the other, none at me, and they were at one life. Okay, and so they're just going to gain try to gain all their life back. And I had Vile Smasher on the field, and I cast Holy Day, and randomly roll, and it picks the attacking player. So Vile Smasher does 1 damage to them, kills them, and saves the other two players. And yeah, it was a that was the one
Take
of the
one, sucker.
yeah, one of the craziest plays because it was just totally random because Vile Smasher's random opponent, and yeah, just happened to hit. It was funny. Yeah, it was a super fun game. Like I said, I saved. It was a long game too because I saved everybody at least once with the Holy Day, and then we just duked it out, and yeah, it was a super fun game. But so I don't even know where we left off. Oh, we were talking about the ultimatums. So yeah, so
Yeah,
the ultimatums are super fun cards to me, anyways. I love those. So glad to see those back. And
yeah.
so 15 special guests is what we're getting. Or is it 10 special guests? So we're getting the 5 ultimatums and the 5 fetch lands. But the fetch lands,
Yep.
there's
Yep.
2 arts for each, so that's why I was thinking 15. So there's 15 different arts for all the cards. So
Yeah, I know. What a sick game you had, and like, yeah, just
yeah,
the set's looking crazy with the with all the
the special
fun plays we're
guests,
gonna
yeah,
get to build off
yeah,
of that. You
yeah. So
special guests, some new
let's
arts for our favorite cards.
let's talk
Do
about the set
let's get
proper.
into next. We're gonna get into the mechanics, right?
Let's do the mechanics
Yeah.
because we've got some pretty cool stuff here. So let's start. I think we're gonna start with endure. That's the Abzan mechanic, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So Endure is the Abzan mechanic. It's featured on Anafenza Unyielding Lineage. It says whenever another non-token creature you control dies, well, Endure says um, it has a number, so it says Endures 2. Put 2+1/+1 counters or create a 2/2 white spirit creature token. So I'm assuming the size and the amount of counters are tied to the Endure number. So you'll either get 1 counter and a 1/1, or you'll
Yeah.
get um, 2 counters and a 2/2, and so on. Kind of like one of our other mechanics we're going to go over today. But yeah, that's the Endure mechanic. It's a
Yeah.
big break. It's kind of a breakaway from the previous Abzan mechanics, right? Because before it was just counter city.
Yeah. Yeah. And this gives you the option of getting dudes too. So
Yeah,
so this is a triggered ability. So this can happen when a creature, like if a creature says when it enters, it endures. You can do it then, or if something happens, a creature dies, you can endure. So this is
you can endure.
yeah. So it can be tied to a lot of different effects to trigger this ability. But
Yeah, and it's cool. It's kind of giving a little bit of that Orzhov feel more to the color combination, more than just a mono green type plus or a white green effect.
white,
So it's
yeah,
definitely giving it that more like playing in both spaces. So now we're kind of getting that Orzhov vibe with our green white vibe, which is I think the goal. So I think they really did
Right. Yeah.
upgrade. And the other mechanics were a little weird. Bolster wasn't like very controlled because it had to go on your like smallest toughness guy, and
Mm-hmm.
then Outlast was good, but like in other formats it's a little too slow. Like I can't block when I Outlast because it was
Yeah.
sorcery speed only, which kind of stinks. So definitely they got an upgrade mechanic that looks pretty cool.
Yeah. I like this that
Next,
it gives you the choice. You can choose between the counters
yeah,
or the creatures. So yeah.
yeah. So these are going to be really dynamic cards.
So the next one we're gonna talk about is Flurry, right? And this is a Jeskai mechanic.
Yeah, so this is the one we didn't guess on Mark Rosewater's teaser. It
Yeah.
was saying an ability word that we'd used a bunch, but now we have an ability word for it. So it's whenever you cast your second spell each turn, do a thing. So
Mm-hmm.
Flurry is just shorthand for whenever you cast your second spell each turn, get an effect.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the Jeskai mechanic. Pretty cool. Jeskai had prowess originally, and there's prowess in the set also.
Yeah.
Um, so, really big win, I think, to just finally have a word to just say, instead of having to say, whenever you cast your second spell each turn, like that's a mouthful. Now you can just say, Flurry, do this.
Yeah.
So
Which
you
they
can go on
don't
anything.
they
So it's a
don't
good
on
word.
I don't think they word it that way on these cards because it is a new thing. So you still have the flurry text and you still have the whenever you cast your second spell text, but like in the future they could just say flurry do X. But
Yeah,
since this is
like
new,
landfall.
yeah, since this is new, I think they're making sure that that that's what that means because since it's something new. So we're
Yeah,
not saving
very
any text in
cool.
this set, but we might in the future.
Yes, yes. Definitely not in this set.
Yeah.
And then next we have the um, teamer mechanic, Harmonize. Um, so it's basically, let me read the ability, but it's in a sense flashback, but with a discount if
Yeah.
you have a big dude. So it's um, you cast a spell, and then to harmonize the spell, you can cast the card from your graveyard, but you may tap a creature you control to reduce its cost by X generic mana, where X is its power. Then you exile the card. So flashback, but instead of just pay this cost, it's pay this cost, but maybe with a discount.
Yeah.
I love this mechanic. This is sweet. I play with big creatures. Now and I love flashback, so this kind of is living my dream right here. I'm like, oh, like let's go. My big guy can now discount my removal spell and I play it 2 times. So
Yeah.
loving
And
that mechanic.
and so just a note on this one, it is only one creature that you can tap. You can't tap multiple creatures and get a bigger discount. It has to be one creature
Yeah.
that you tap for this. So if you're playing bigger creatures, then you might be able to flash these spells back for zero even, depending on what the harmonized cost is. But what we've seen so far, I think, is mostly green. X and a green to flash or harmonize stuff. It's kind of weird that they have this harmonized mechanic and it's not you drawing 3 cards. So kind of
Yeah.
yeah.
That would be a strong mechanic. Every mechanic that is this card now draws me 3 cards. How many cards make
Yeah.
10? Oh my god. You see
Yeah.
all of them every game. Draw three, draw three, draw. Yeah. It is a little funny that it doesn't harken back to the card harmonize.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it's sweet mechanic.
Harmonize was a, you know, um, kind of a teamer card though. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, and I think they're like playing into like the musicality of that clan. Like they do like chanting and stuff. So I think that's the
oh,
concept.
okay,
But
that makes sense. Yeah.
harmonize also to me kind of feels like it would feel more like a flurry style mechanic. Like when I hear that word, I'd be like, oh, let me play a bunch of cards together and like make like, oh, when you play a spell that's this mana cost, this mana cost, this mana cost, like get a harmony.
Yeah.
But
But
this is
this
what
is
it
like,
is. I
well,
like the mechanic.
this is also like creatures harmonizing with spells, like harmonizing with instants and
True.
sorceries. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's the whole thing about the teamer, right? Like they've shown the con. We'll get to
Hmm.
that card probably later. It cares about when you play a non-creature and a creature. So,
Right.
and
Yeah.
this is helping you make that happen and make sense. I mean, and I like that. I like
Hmm.
diversity of card types. Magic's really been good on get linear. It's like play all artifacts. My deck's such a sharp arrow. Now it's like, how about if I play a deck that's a little mixed up and I get rewarded?
Yeah. Exactly.
So pretty cool. Pretty cool design, and definitely again, I think taken that clan to a new place because it used to be ferocious, and then it was
Hmm.
formidable. So have 4 power. Have if I have something that's 4 power, I get a benefit, or if I have 8 power total in play, I get a benefit.
Yeah.
Now it's hey, you're a big guy. It helps you cast a spell. It's pretty easy, and your spells don't do nothing when like because the other ones were kind of like I do my thing with a kicker or I do nothing. And I remember reading Mark Rosewater's article about that, just being like my cards are just better or they're worse. I'm either winning and I'm winning harder, or I'm losing and I'm losing harder. It's
Yeah.
kind of over now. Now it's like I'm winning and winning harder, or I'm just doing my thing, because these effects aren't different. Like, so you're getting the good rate and you're getting a bonus. So,
Yeah.
at the worst, you're getting a good flashback card, so pretty cool.
Yeah.
Next we have Mobilize for the Mardu. Yeah, and the Mobilize is it comes with a number. So you mobilize a number, so it'd be 1, 2, whatever. Whenever this creature attacks, create that number of tapped and attacking 1/1 red warrior creature tokens, sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. So yeah, pretty sweet. So just kind of a go wide with a pseudo. So you make an army out of nothing.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. Army in a can, but not so much that you're going to have a whole board of tokens forever. So kind of like getting you the effects of having a big board, but like contained.
Yeah, and I mean, it works pretty well with Elspeth we just talked about. Your mobilized number gets doubled basically. Get double those tokens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's true.
It kind of makes sense with the story because in the story it's Elspeth fighting big dragons and the Mardu come in and they're also fighting along the Mardu and the Jeskai both. But yeah, so it's kind of like Elspeth helping out the Mardu, making more dudes. So it's kind of cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, there's synergy there. I mean, I can't imagine in standard you're like, so I have like 3 mobilized guys out. Here's my Elspeth. Attack with like these, and then I get 10 dudes. Like, oh, okay, I'm dead.
Yeah. So yeah, I dig this.
And that's not even including the +1 counters and the flying that she'll do. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Oof. Yeah. No, I dig this.
So yeah,
this mechanic is pretty good.
Yeah, people are already talking about playing the new Zergo index and stuff over in my group.
Yeah.
So pretty happy for that. And then we finally have the Sultai mechanic. It's called Renew. They talked a lot about changing up the vibe of the Sultai. And I believe last time they had Delve and Exploit. So Delve is you exile cards from your graveyard, you get a discount. Exploit was sack a dude, so it kind of had synergy. You could fill your graveyard. Well, now we get Renew, and I think we've only seen it on a common so far. Oh no, we've seen it on several cards, but it's Renew just means pay some cost, exile this card from your graveyard, get a bonus. So it's just a way to get a second life out of your cards. We've actually technically had several Renew cards in Magic before, in a sense.
Right.
Cards that like let themselves exile themselves from your graveyard to get some sort of effect. Now we're keywording it. It's at sorcery speed, I think, is the only other caveat. But yeah, pretty cool mechanic. Just getting basically 2 out of 1, kind of flashbacky, really, when you think about it. So if you're self-milling, you get your harmonized cards and your renew cards. So in your limited deck, since there's an overlap of blue and green between those two clans, you'll maybe have some synergy. Filling your graveyard up with harmonized cards and renew cards. So
yeah,
pretty cool.
The only weird thing about this mechanic to me is like you said, Delve is normally with goes along with the Sultai clan, and we've got the not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but we got the new Sultai Dragon, which gives all your cards Delve. This just seems kind of like it contradicts one another, or maybe this is this what they use to kind of keep Delve in check, maybe? Because like you can't do
I think
you either Delve or Renew.
Right.
Maybe that does go along with the Sultai, because if you don't know about the Sultai clan, they don't believe death is the final thing. You come back, and kind of depending on how you lived your life, you come back either honored or not, like as basically kind of like a brain dead zombie. And so maybe that does like kind of go together. Delve is kind of the going away forever, and then Renew as you come back more honored. But as far as gameplay goes, they seem to kind of contradict one another.
So I think this is the concept with those, because I think there is synergy there. It's just a little loose. Okay. Like they wanted to play into that space, right? So if you're playing Delve cards, you're going to be milling yourself a ton, right?
That's true.
So now, like, I mill myself like 7 or 10 or whatever, but I'll hit one card that has an effect that's relevant in my graveyard, so I'll get card advantage, and then my big Delve spell will take all the chaff. So it's kind of like getting the best of both worlds. Like, yeah, sometimes you might have to delve away your renew card, but probably not, because you're to play Delve, you have to be really loaded in your graveyard. So you're just like, well, I have a free effect here, and my Delve spell works. So I think it actually has synergy. It seems counterintuitive, but I don't think it's as bad as you'd think. Having played with that mechanic, built decks with like Sidisi and stuff around it, I get where they're coming from. It seems weird, and I don't know about you, but as a Magic player who's played Commander, you're almost like allergic to things that like permanently get rid of stuff. You're like, ooh, I'm never getting this card back. Like, what are you talking about? But the way Commander is now, like, I'm not so against it, where we're like faster games. So I dig it. It's really what cards am I going to get? So
Yeah, that's a fair point that you are going to have lots of stuff in your graveyard regardless. Okay.
yeah, so I think it's on theme. Um, but yeah, and then those are the clan mechanics that we have.
Hmm.
Um,
Let's
actually, we didn't when we talked about Mardu, we didn't talk about their old mechanics, the raid and what was the other one? Anyway, that works with raid, sort of, and then it I can't remember the other
right,
mechanic they
because
had, but
a raid cares whenever you attack.
yeah, so it encourages you to attack, so no mismatch there.
Yep.
And then we had three other mechanics, right? We've already talked about Behold in a previous podcast,
Hmm.
Behold a Dragon. Um, Surveil just is now evergreen, has been officially evergreened in this
Yep.
set, and
Which I thought it was already. I thought Surveil was,
yeah, me too.
because we've seen it in a lot of sets.
Well, you remember the card Consider? It's an instant that says Surveil one draw card.
Uh huh.
When they upgraded that, I just assumed that meant that since we're using this text, like everything's just going to be
Yeah.
Surveil now, and we've seen it. I guess maybe they're just like we're going to use it more than Scry or as much as Scry. So I'm happy. I mean, no
Yep.
problem there. I guess there wasn't just three. There's four mechanics because Hybrid is back. You wanted to talk about Hybrid, didn't you, Josh?
Yeah, I love hybrid spells, hybrid mana. Yeah, this is super cool because we're you're you're wanting to really play three colors in this, especially like limited. You know, you want to play one of these clans, and getting that mana fixing. This is kind of mana fixing, really, because the hybrid costs that we've seen so far are either two colorless or one color. So the hybrid mana costs have colorless in all of their pips. So you could you pay a little bit extra and you get that color that you're maybe missing at that point in time. But yeah, I dig it. It makes sense in this set a lot. Like I said, to color fix. I feel like we're gonna get a lot of color fixing in this set. But this just adds that extra layer, especially for the limited formats, is really what this is for. But I just enjoy seeing a hybrid mana pip on a card.
Well, I think just for nostalgia, Cons was actually one I used to draft all the time, and Cons was one of the best draft environments like of all time. Like I drafted so much of that set. Um, and playing limited, and I don't know if you guys have built cubes, but one of the things with Magic that's kind of funny and people kind of underrated. I know some people were like, I wish the mana system didn't exist, and it's like, well, it's kind of like the whole thing with Magic, and same with
Right.
the color system. So the tension between getting your colors and just the difference between 3 and 5 colors isn't that far away. And that kind of happened in Cons a little bit, where you'd have when they put in the gain life lands, they were so common that you could make like 5 color decks. It
Hmm.
was okay to have a little 5 color, but you don't want like all 5 color because then it's like there's no color, right? So like I see there's a cycle of common hybrid cards, and yeah, you will usually have your 2 cards, but you're not getting super punished to play your card a turn later when you're stuck on 2 colors.
Yeah.
Now that you have that extra mana requirement, but also I saw a cycle of cards while I was looking through the spoiler here. They're called the Devotees, and they all have an ability that says pay 1 generic mana, and then you can add one of their clan colors. You can only do it once a turn. So again, another creative way to make sure we're getting mana fixing, but not so good. It's not like you get this guy down and you're like, all my cards are the same color. I can cast everything. It's like, oh no, you get like to do one until you kind of get your next
Yeah.
land, and it kind of plays that line. So I love that. I love the design there. Just people sometimes I think underrate the value of just having that, like having the ability to have a little fixing goes a long way instead of too much when you're just like everything doesn't matter, colors are irrelevant. Like kind of in cube sometimes you just have fetches and duels and
Yeah.
how it matters. So but yeah, just wanted to take a little side there. But you love color, you love this. I was thinking they used to talk about like fatigue and creep on common and not having too much complexity. If I was a new player to Magic, seeing 2 red, 2 white, 2 black in a little circle on a common, I'd be like,
What am I
what am I
supposed to
looking
do?
at?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I can put it together, but I'd be like, huh, this card costs 9. This card costs like,
Yeah. Yeah.
what happened? Printer error? Did somebody shrink that? I don't know. Just kind of funny, but it's
Yeah.
cool to see it back. And then I think the true new mechanic that we haven't talked about is Omen.
Yeah.
Um, so there are dragon cards. At least I think I've only seen it on dragon cards,
Yeah. I think
and
they
these
are
cards look
just
a
on
lot like
dragon cards.
adventures. Oh, okay. So these cards look a lot like adventures, where you have a full card, and then in the bottom left-hand corner, there's a little bit of text. That's another little card. I'm looking at Dirt Dirger Island Dragon. I'll just read this one as an example. It's 5 and a blue for a creature dragon, 4/4, flying in word 2, but it has its spell side, its omen side. It says skimming strike for a 1 in a blue, instant dash omen. Tap up to 1 target creature, draw a card, then shuffle this card into your library. So you get kind of a modal spell, but you don't get the dragon if you cast it at that time. You don't get the dragon if you play the spell. So they kind of a way to get your as fan, as Mark Rosewater calls it, for the amount of cards you see in your hand of dragons up, so you can behold, probably more likely, reveal your dragons and shuffle them into your deck. But card functions, so you're not just like, crap, I have a 6-drop in my hand, I'm never going to cast, I'm going to die, even though I can behold. So
Yeah,
pretty
so
cool.
this works identical to a adventure, except when that other spell resolves, you shuffle the card back in your library, so you have a chance of drawing it again later when when you could play the bigger side. I mean, yes, I believe they said that these are all dragons in the little video they did. I believe they said these are all dragons, and so you're kind of making that dragon storm too. Like you kind of see the there's a dragon coming. You kind of see that, and then you put it back in your deck, but you don't know when, and so you can get this flurry of dragons along with all your spells too. So that was
Yeah, you
that
see
was
the
pretty
funnel.
cool.
You see the funnel cloud creeping down from the sky a little bit before you see the dragon pop out. It's kind
Yeah.
of cool. Yeah,
To go back to the
that's a
behold,
fun. There's a lot of fun creative ways to make dragons crazy. Yeah,
so to go back to the behold mechanic, real quick is one thing they did mention is they were kind of explaining the mechanic, on their live stream, and one of the things they did say is, we can use this on anything. We can behold other creature types. So like I feel like they're going to be using this more in the future, and I feel like Lorwyn, we're going to see it in Lorwyn is really what I'm getting at. When we go back there,
yep.
I feel like because we've had similar mechanics to that in Lorwyn before, and so I feel like we're going to see that in. So I'm making a super long range prediction for Mark Rosewater's teaser or something when we get around to Lorwyn, if we ever get there, that you're going to see Behold in that set. But because they did say that they
Well, if you think about the Silvergill Adept cycle, that all could just say Behold, but I guess they're a little
yeah,
worse than Behold because you can't just control one. So,
yeah,
but they're pretty close. So, new
yeah.
Silvergill Adept, Gold Guild Adept has Behold Merfolk.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that. It's a cool mechanic. It's something we do all the time in Magic, kind of like Flurry is a thing we're starting to do all the time in Magic. So you're just gonna kind of go off.
yeah.
Um,
So that's all the
yeah.
mechanics
So
in
I think
this
that's all
set.
the mechanics.
Yeah, let's talk about our dragons. So we've got 5 new
All right.
dragons. Let's go through those, and let you know who. So these are the 5 spirit dragons. So if you haven't been following the story, basically how this whole thing came to be was, when we left off at Tarkir, or what was it called, Dragons of Tarkir, um, all the the dragon lords had taken over, and they were kind of enslaving all the people that were in these cons that were in the cons of Tarkir set. They kind of split off, and they're being ruled by these dragons. Well, um, it was just because a lot of people got fed up with that. The clan leaders got together. They cast. Believe Narset cast the spell for the Dragonstorm spell, and they out of that spell came these 5 spirit dragons, and so each clan was back to 3 colors from their 2 from dragons, and so the clans were back to their original 3 colors, and each one of them had a dragon leader. And but casting that spell started the dragon storms, and they got out of control. But out of the first, when the spell was initially cast, we got 5 spirit dragons. They kind of lead the clans along with the clan leader. The clan leader is tied to these spirit dragons. So let's go through each spirit dragon from each clan here. Hopefully I
Yeah.
have those pulled up.
So first we have First we have Baitor, kin to all. He's 2 white, black, and green for legendary creature Spirit Dragon. Mythic flying. At the beginning of your end step, if creatures you control have total toughness 10 or greater, draw a card. Then, if creatures you control have total toughness 20 or greater, untap each creature you control. Then, if creatures you control have toughness 40 or greater, each opponent loses half their life rounded up, and it's a 5/7. So that
Yeah.
card's sweet.
So
So
out
big
of all
butts and
the
I cannot lie.
out of all the spirit dragons, I think this one looks the coolest. I love the way he looks. He gives me Eldrazi vibes with the little like things floating around his head. They look like kind of little hedrons, or whatever the Eldrazi have. It kind of gives me Eldrazi vibes. Big Eldrazi fan. So yeah, I think he looks the coolest out of all of them. I'm not sure about these stats or the text on the
Really?
card. I mean, a 5/7 flying is cool.
Huge.
Yeah, it's just kind of there's a lot of text going on here and a lot of math. And I don't know you know,
Yeah, so I kind of like this card. So you just need a 3 but other thing in play, and it's drawing you an
draw
extra
card,
card
yeah,
immediately. So that's awesome. And then you get to 20, so you need 10 more toughness in play. So then you get vigilance on it basically, and you're drawing a card. And all your outlast stuff, so your old Abzan stuff will kind of untap after you outlast it, which is kind of good theme.
yeah,
And then the last part's just like I can just sit here and hold up because they're all about enduring. So it's just like I'm just gonna park here, bap
yeah,
ya, untap, take more of your life. Like I'm just gonna sit out and chill. Like I don't plan to attack at all. Maybe this is
yeah,
definitely the chill at home. Win from home. Like oh, I'm in my ivory tower. Come and get me and die. So
yeah,
I love this card. I'm considering it as commander because Abzan's not super fun to me. Most
mm,
of the time it's just like I exile all your stuff, but this is like get big booty creatures into play and
yeah,
like do some tap and stuff. Like I'm all about that. So I'm curious to see. Like I'm sure there's some weird chappers that I'm just be like, pump it, go. Oh, I have 40 toughness. You die. So
yeah.
I love it.
I mean,
Um,
this guy works really well with Doran too, because in a Doran deck you're
yeah,
gonna put big butt creatures, and this guy cares about big butt creatures, so they
yeah,
can make
and I
a
agree with you. I like the art on it too.
yeah, yeah, he looks really cool. So that's our
Yeah, you just
Abzan.
slap them in your Doran deck.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's like if
Just
they
slap them
made
in
a
there.
if they he could be the backup commander for Doran if he had a commander deck with
Or
or vice
or the
versa.
other Abzan commander we might talk about later. I don't know if you've seen that one, but yeah.
I,
And then we'll get on to the Jeskai Dragon, Shiko, Paragon of the Way, 2 blue, red, white for a legendary creature spirit dragon, flying vigilance. When Shiko enters, exile target non-land card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard, copy it, then you may cast the copy without paying its mana cost, and it's a 4/5. So this one's pretty big in vigilancy. Seems like it's kind of a standard role player, kind of a 2-for-1. Kind of gives me like a
yeah,
discount torrential gear Hulk vibes, but with a better body. Um, Seems pretty chill. This one's plays. I feel like it should have Titan text at this point. I'm kind of used to Titan text on my cards, but it'll put in work. I mean, this is kind of a giant flame tongue Kavu for the most part, most likely. Like you kill a thing, plan this, kill a thing, and then you just bop them in the face till they're dead for 5 turns. This is like ultimate Sarah Angel.
yeah.
So
It's
uh,
it's interesting that this has an ETB effect, whereas the one we just talked about, you kind of get that static effect, or the triggered effect at your end step. So I feel like you don't get as
mhm.
much value out of this card as you do the last one we just talked about.
Yeah, yeah. It's not as this is not like this. I think is must have a role in standard of some kind. It's a little
Yeah,
chill. Like,
yeah. I
I
mean, it's
mean, I
just
guess it's kind of fun with Blinken. If you're like playing like
well, that's true. That's true. Yeah,
Ghostway and stuff, you could do
yeah,
some fun stuff if you really thought about it, got creative. You're
yeah.
like Ghostway my board. Like he's your mass blink guy.
Yeah, that's true. Or what's it?
Um,
The one companion card that links everything at once on your
oh
turn.
yeah,
So
Yorion.
Yorion, yeah.
Yeah,
So
Yorion. Yeah, a lot of options for this actually.
yeah,
So it might just take a little bit more creativity, which I'm not against. I'm not against that at all. It's not just as obvious as sit here, make some booty, everyone dies as Baitor. So,
yeah,
and then we'll get on to the next one. So this card had some of the text from the teaser. Teval, Arbiter of Virtue, 2 black, green, and blue, legendary creature, spirit, dragon, mythic, flying in lifelink. Spells you cast have delve. And here's the kicker: whenever you cast a spell, you lose life equal to its mana value.
yeah,
And it's a 6/6, and it has a little flavor text. As you act, so shall you be judged. Huh. Just funny to see that there. So this was a spicy guy, big flying lifelinker.
yeah,
Um, yeah, kind of wish that last line of text said, "If you delve a spell, lose life equal to its mana value." But whatever.
yeah.
Definitely a hefty drawback.
Yeah, so this isn't as bad, as I initially thought. It's not. It doesn't break delve. I like the fact that it has life link, so you can gain that life back. So you could theoretically cast a 6 mana spell each turn and gain that life back. But yeah, I love the design on this card. 6/6 for 5. I think all the dragons are 2, and all the dragons that we've talked about so far are 2, and the clan colors. But yeah, flying lifelink. I like this card. I love the colors. I love, it has the delve, which is the Sultai mechanic, and then yeah,
The old Sultai mechanic, even, which I think
yeah,
that's kind of the theme. Like these were old spirits, so it's kind of interesting to
right,
see. Um, Sweet card, interesting. I mean, you can still do the naughty thing that we thought. It's just you're going to take 13 off the top when you're like play this, play an Eldrazi, you're gonna take like a ton to the face, but
Yeah.
still pretty good. Like you just play this guy on turn 5. If you milled enough cards, you're like, and here's Ulamog Ceaseless Hunger or something crazy, and just you take 10, but I mean your turn 5 is now here's 16 power, and
Yeah.
so I mean, kind of cool. So that's the Sultai one. So
Sultai.
pretty cool. To another interesting brain teaser. And then we're on to Mardu. We have Neriv, Heart of the Storms. One red, white, and black for legendary creature, Spirit Dragon, Mythic. Flying. If a creature you control that entered this turn would deal damage, it deals twice that much damage instead, and it's a 4/5. Interesting, it doesn't have haste, but I mean, yeah, in standard W, 8 chunk to the face, so I guess you can't do that.
Yeah.
And it with mobilize because you've got, those creatures are entering this turn, so they're getting doubled up on their damage. And then it has a little bit of flavor text. Scales streaked with lightning, trailing thunder in his wake. Neriv is the living banner around which the Mardu rally. So that's pretty cool. What do you think about this one, Josh?
So we got a little bit smaller dragon for a barely smaller cost with has flying. Um, so this works well with the clan mechanics where you're making those the little tokens that are attacking off of the so off of your mobilize, you're making those tokens, and so now they become you know deadly, basically giving them double strike. So it seems like
Yeah,
a weaker effect than some of the other ones that we've uh, previewed so far. But this works very well, I think, with the clan colors and the clan mechanics. It really, I don't want to say harmonizes, but really goes along, with the Mardu colors, because the Mardu
Oh,
ones
I
are
remember the other clan mechanic. It was dash. It works really well with dash and
yeah,
mobilize.
yeah, that's true, yeah,
Yeah, because you can just fling it in, it comes back, you fling it again. I think this actually plays super great in Mardu. Like if you're trying to be aggressive, you can kill all
yeah,
their stuff, and then everything you slap down. I mean, you have lightning greaves out, and this is your commander. Boom, that's 8 just to start, and then your next thing's probably,
yeah.
in the 10 damage range,
And
especially if you're on a dragon theme.
I'm
So
sure we're gonna see some other cards that grant haste, Um, so I dig it. It like I said, it goes really well with what Marty wants to do. Marty wants to, come in fast and be attacking and dealing damage, and this card definitely does it.
yeah, pretty cool dragon, pretty ouchy, pretty attacky.
Yeah.
And then we're on to the last of the Dragon Lords, Ureni, the Song of Unending. 5 green, blue, red for legendary creature, Spirit Dragon, Mythic. Flying, protection from white and black. What? When Ureni enters, it deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and or planeswalkers your opponents control, where X is the number of lands you control. And it's a 10/10? Whoa.
Yeah, this card is
This one's kind of like they just let the sauce out. What the?
yeah. I think this was the one of the last ones we got spoiled. Yeah, pretty good. So we got an 8 mana cost, 10/10 with protection from the opposite colors. That it is. This is a very teamer card to me. I think they nailed it.
Yeah. This card's a beating.
Yeah,
Kidding me? It's huge. It'll kill you in almost 2 hits. I mean, you pump it all. Slight gust of wind after you get hit by it twice. It just nukes your opponent's board. Like does at least 7 or at least 8, right? Most of the time. And then you're in
well, I
green and
mean,
blue, so your land ramp is like off the chain.
yeah. So I mean, like theoretically, you could probably cast this on turn 6. So if you're doing 6 damage, because if you got some mana dorks out, have all those lands, but still, I mean, you know, a lightning axe to the face or to a creature is pretty good.
No face, just creatures and
Yeah,
planeswalkers.
just yeah.
So, but yeah, that's still a lot. And I don't know if you've ever played against like a Omnath, the 4-color Omnath deck,
Uh huh.
but you can get a lot of lands in play before turn 6.
Oh
I've seen
yeah,
like
yeah.
gorillion lands in play. So this thing's just gonna nuke somebody's board, and you're just gonna have a 10/10. And you can like the poor guy sitting on the Swords of Plowshare is just gonna be like, and this is how it ends, huh? Because red, blue, and green are like horrible at killing stuff. Like, maybe if they're on the Pungify Rapid Hybridization, maybe if they got the Chaos Warp or some of the other bad red removal spells, or maybe they got their one Beast Within. But most likely, this sucker ain't dying. So once it's in play, it's like
Yeah,
ranch, just take 10. So
yeah. Like what
spicy. This one's the hot stuff to me. I'm
what
like, oh
kill
my
what
gosh.
like what kills this? What kills this card? I mean, you just have to like
And
deal 10
I don't
damage to
know.
this card, right? Like with some red spells.
I guess you just got to like hit a Blasphemous Act or something,
Yeah.
or a Wrath of some kind, But it ain't dying to spot removal for the
Yeah,
most part.
yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
Ooh. So that
So
one's just a pounding.
yes, so those
Yeah.
are all
So good
the
setup. Good set.
all five of the spirit dragons. So all of these cards do have a second version that you're going to see in the commander decks. So each commander deck is centered around one of these dragons, but you get they have different effects. It's a totally different dragon card in these commander decks here. These are the ones that are in the set proper, and then we've got one the same names of these dragons and the same dragon, but they're in a different form in the five commander decks that we're getting.
Sounds good.
All right, so I think the last card that we want to talk about today was another shocker. I was kind of shocked, like I got hit in the face with these fetch lands, and then Wizards came out with the right hook, to the other side with Craterhoof Behemoth is back in
Yes,
standard.
sir. Yes, sir.
In this
He's
set.
back.
Yeah.
He's here.
And
And finally, I know we had the secret lair art, but finally with new in Magic art, and I'm so happy about it. Like 3 new arts for Greater Hoof. I like all of them. I like now he's also an elephant, I guess, but I'm here for it. I'm all
yeah,
about this
yeah,
mossy elephant.
yeah. He's still a beast. They didn't change his card type, but he is throwing off mossy mammoth vibes here. I I'm digging the art for these. They have this is one of the cards that comes in the ghost fire treatment. So you've got like all his tusks are like the blue dragon fire or ghost fire uh you know color, and yeah, it looks super cool. It, another
Yeah,
thing,
very into it.
yeah, another like art style that we're getting are these clan arts. So these are kind of giving off like Commander Masters vibes, where you have the silhouettes with like a plain background. These aren't all silhouettes, but the backgrounds are super cool. So the cards are all black with white text on them, first of all. And then behind each of the creatures that are featured on these cards, you have the clan symbol. So we do see that Craterhoof is, clan teamer. So in this art, and then so they have the clan symbol behind, and then they have the clan colors also, are a major focus of the art. So we've got red, green, and blue on this
Yeah.
Craterhoof behemoth. So you can see part of the teamer clan symbol behind him there, but he doesn't have the teamer watermark. So they didn't officially make him teamer, but he has this clan artwork, which I really dig. They're doing this for all the clans. We've seen one from a card, at least one card from each clan. It looks super cool. How it's got the different colors of the clan. They look really awesome.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful. So happy about this.
Like, yeah, some of my favorite treatments. I really don't like the alt arts. I really don't normally go for, but like so far they've been killing it with. I like the Aether Drift ones. I'm digging these with the black with those just the clan colors are really the only colors on the card. So because the rest of the card's black and white. But yeah, I dig
Yeah,
this.
it's a beautiful look.
Crazy that
10 out of 10. The art styles are getting cool.
all the art for this Craterhoof, I really dig too. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm literally my roommate's got six collector's boosters coming in. I'm like, you need to trade my old Crater Hoof for one of these. Like, I don't care.
yeah,
Just switch me out. I need that new art. I need the new art in my blood.
yeah. So it's
So I'm
pretty
kind of hyped
nuts.
for that.
Pretty nuts. This is in standard. We just got in foundations. We got a ton of elves, which normally at Craterhoof's, he's the token elf normally. So
Yep.
it'll be interesting. Standard's gonna be interesting. Got this. You got all the
Yep.
dragons.
Green has a for sure finisher. So
Yeah, I'm digging it.
if you be like, you think your Rennie's going to be the biggest thing on the board, nope. Crater Hoof is here to stomp you into out of existence.
Yeah. What's crazy too is we just got this in Innistrad remastered last. So not
Yeah.
the last set, but the set before. Two Crater Hoof.
So I actually
two
omit Crater Hoof for most of my commander decks because it's a little too good.
Yeah.
And I was literally complaining that in just a few months ago, I was complaining that why doesn't this have a new art in Innistrad Remastered? This is the moment. What are they doing? And then immediately this, I'm like, okay, apparently this is where that was
Yeah.
going to be
I emailed them and
in
said
my set.
I emailed them and said
Oh,
Nick wants new art for this, and so yeah, I guess I got my email.
I'm glad your poll is getting that high. Good, good.
Yeah. But
He's
yeah.
in good. He's in the thick of it.
So yeah, 2 Crater Hoofs in 1 year so far. It's pretty good. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, so that's I think that's all we're going to cover today as far as um, Tarkir goes. And let's talk. Let's one last thing though. Let's talk about. Did you see this Final Fantasy card that got revealed? This red card.
No. What Final Fantasy card?
Mm. So there's a new Final Fantasy card that is red that allows you to play an extra land per turn. Which,
What?
yeah, it completely is breaking the color pie. It's mono red.
Yes. What the heck?
Yeah, yeah. So,
Huh.
so read this card, Nick, because it's pretty interesting.
Zeldinich, I think is how you say it. For a 2 and a red for legendary creature human monk, you may play an additional land on each of your turns. Zelditch gets +1/+0 for each land you control. At the beginning of your end step, return a land you control to its owner's hand
Yeah,
for a 0/3. Okay, so he has a
yeah.
drawback.
It has
Okay,
a drawback, but still,
weird.
yeah, yeah. It's I mean, pretty pretty big break in the color pie. There's the drawback, but yeah, there was another card also in that they released for the Tarkir set, Dragonstorm, that seems to break the color pie as well. It's a creature that taps for red mana, just straight up to.
Oh, they've done that before though. That's not new.
Yeah,
The
but
first creature that did that was all the way in the dark.
yeah, I mean, but it looks they were saying that it's going to become more common for red creatures to do that. We saw the one in Aether Drift that did it. The House Squad Heavy it added red for each goblin, but this is just straight
Yeah.
up like red, not land or elves because this costs 2, but costs 1 and a red, and then you can tap it for red. They did say that
Yeah, it's called Sunset Strike Master.
yeah, and there's another ability on it too, 2 and a red, and you get to do
Sack
that.
it and deal 6 damage to a creature with flying.
Yeah,
It's a 3/1. I think this is great actually if they're moving this over to red because red creatures usually aren't allowed to have the biggest stats and they usually
yeah,
have kind of high power. In Commander, getting a couple mana is kind of a huge deal. So letting your kind of like derpy creatures that aren't on all the time kind of have a role. Like I looked at this card and I was like, this is actually like a playable just a guy I can play Commander. Like I can whap somebody for 3 to 6, or I can add a mana to
yeah,
get my Commander out of turn earlier. You don't get locked as behind. I mean, you don't get to play extra lands in red. You don't really get the sweepers to catch up as white or the removal spells as black, or the counter spells in blue or the card draw. So red really needs some more flexibility. So if mana tapping is going to be in there, I mean, I don't expect a land war elf, but I could see a lot of
no.
2 mana
They said that
dudes.
we would see they said that we would see this more often, but they said it would never be better than a green card. So yeah, so
Good.
you'll never
Oh,
like unless we go back to Future Sight or something. You're never gonna see a red card that just taps for 1 red. You never see red mana or
don't
else.
trust that comment. Just as a Magic player, never trust that comment though, because you know it's going to happen. I
Yeah,
know they're going to make one that's pushed.
they'll make one.
Like
Yeah,
they were like, oh, it's like they gave black enchantment destruction. They're like, how about you just sack an enchantment? And then they're like, how about feed the swarm? And then now they're like, how about whatever that 3 mana feed the swarm is, which might as well be the best black removal spell, or one of the more played black removal spells, the one from Duskmourn that's like destroy an artifact or an enchantment or creature,
yeah,
and you lose 2 life. Like
yeah,
we're gonna get more. It's gonna get better. I'm sure. I don't. If I see him at 1 mana, I would be shocked. If I ever saw Land War Elf level, I'd be shocked.
yeah,
But at 2 mana, I could see you getting some really spicy ones. So
yeah, yeah.
I
So
like
it's
it.
just
I
kind of
like it.
interesting. This week we saw red really breaking the color pie with that Final Fantasy card lets you play an extra land, and then you can add mana with you get a mana dork, a red mana dork. So yeah, and if
Red needs more to do. Red needs to be better. We want diversity. It already has the best ability in dealing damage and having dragons, but people want more. Want more
yeah,
flexibility. I don't want to get my red commander killed and then I sit there forever like, oh. But Zelditch is just that's like a fine. I wouldn't even
oh yeah,
call that a break. Like
yeah,
if you're gonna
no, no,
somehow like sack the guy or bounce him to get the land drop, then cool. You scared me. I was like, what in the world?
yeah.
I was like, what?
No,
But no, very cool.
yeah, I was just trying to scare you because I knew
You're goaded me.
I knew I'd get a reaction
I
from
was
you.
goaded.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
So, all right, yeah. So
Well, all
crazy,
right.
lots of crazy spoilers, lots like way too much information for us to cover in one podcast. But we'll definitely be talking more about Dragonstorm, in our future episodes. We'll talk about the latest secret lair release. We'll finally see what that is by the next time we come back to you guys, and I will definitely have more Dragonstorm content. I'm an ambassador for the set, so I'll be making those videos. And we did have a meeting yesterday for all us ambassadors, kind of talking about what kind of content, and they did want us to focus on some of our content on the older sets, the cons block sets. They want to kind of tie that into this newer set. So I've got some stuff planned, which I'm really looking forward to. So yeah, great week for spoilers. I was surprised at all the stuff we got to see. Like we haven't even been able to talk about, we didn't have time to talk about the lands, which I definitely want to get into. But that's for next time. So you got anything else, Nick?
No, I'm happy to talk more Tarkir. We're gonna have to break
Yeah.
this up. This is one of my favorite settings in Magic of all time, and it's
Yeah.
cool to be back. And I'm finally like got that blood rush. And there's so many cards I still wanted to talk about, but
Yeah.
only so much you can do. It's so much content. So
Yeah, I was definitely looking forward to going back to this plane. Since we only get 3 Magic IP sets this year, I was looking forward to this one for sure. But now I'm super stoked about it. So not let down
I to see
by
some IP Dragons.
Yeah, not let down by what we've seen so far. So all right, so you got anything else, Nick?
Nope, that's it for me. I'm just looking forward to more Dragonstorm.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's get out of here. Don't forget to like, shower, and subscribe, and we will see you next time with lots more Dragonstorm.